All right, Culture, you watched the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It's not out in the UK yet, even though it should be. Don't really understand why it's not.
I
That's
think
a
I
massive
think you guys are actually getting it on
issue.
streaming. I
Well,
think you guys
that's
are
I
actually.
don't give a
Yeah.
shit. It should still be out in the UK.
Oh, I agree with you, but I'm just saying I think you guys are getting it on streaming platforms. But
Yeah, Henry Cavill, Alan Richardson, Isa
yeah,
Gonzalez. Holy cow!
yeah.
And a whole bunch of other people. What did you think of the film? Quick, you've got 5 minutes. Give us a review of it.
Okay. The film overall was a lot of fun. I think it's very enjoyable. There is a lot of um, the Bond feel to this, the original Bond feel, not the Daniel Craig bullshit. Sorry, I cursed, but that's how I felt about it. Anyway, it was extraordinary beginning to end. It obviously has its basis in history. Of course, obviously this isn't a direct historical retelling. There's so much cinematic license taken, so don't look at it from that perspective. Just that this mission actually happened. It was very cool. This actually, they bring what would be Ian Fleming into the room as part of this operation, and he was involved in many operations like this. But interestingly enough, you have a ragtag crew of people that essentially weren't the government's favorite people during the war, and they have to stop the German U-boats from basically sealing the fate of the British Empire, because the Americans cannot bring their ships over with all the supplies and everything else and join the war without the U-boats being taken out. All of this is real. So they go down south to Africa, which is where they have a submarine base. That's where the Germans have a submarine base. And they resupply, not necessarily the submarines aren't based there, but they have all the resupplies there for air filters and et cetera, on a boat that they've reinforced with steel. Along the way, there's a side quest. They have to do a prison break in a different part of like a German encampment, which is brilliant. It's a lot of fun. By the time you get down to this location in Africa, they have accelerated the timetable for having that ship leave. So you have our good guys on the way on a boat. They have to cut their trip a little bit short. All of this is being done underneath the below the levels of what would we say propriety. The military isn't exactly in board with this. This is all under Churchill's direction. Anyway, so they arrive early. Eventually, they figure out that they can't blow up the ship because that's what they were sent there to do. They have to actually steal the ship. So all of these different things have to come together in the right way, and it is an extraordinary film.
It's a Guy
It's a lot
Ritchie
of
film, so
yeah.
that's the rough plot. Give me the Guy Ritchie-ness, the dialogue. Was it quick?
The dialogue. Yeah.
Was it tongue in cheek?
Okay.
Was it funny?
It was funny. It was funny, but it wasn't over the top. It was a little less Guy Ritchie than normal. It wasn't Snatch. It wasn't something like that.
Give me on a scale of 1 to The Gentleman. Where were we?
1 to The Gentleman. Maybe probably about a 7 in the Guy Ritchie from 1 to The Gentleman.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
But it was just good fun. And like I said, I mean, I'm a fan of dialogue. The dialogue in here was witty. You Brits are freaking witty as hell. I love you. But anyway, so
thank you very much.
Yeah, stop it. Don't get a big head. Anyway, regardless, you get to the end of the film, and then there's a musical bit with Isa, and she's amazing. First of all,
she's always amazing. Honestly,
they didn't.
My God,
they didn't shy.
I need to change my picture to her. Like
they didn't shy away. No. Not after the sweatshirt that our girl was wearing the other day. But anyway, no, there's a musical number that's not really a musical number. She's singing and dancing, and all this action is happening in stealth outside. It's fantastic. Like I said, every single moment of it, I really enjoyed. It got a little long in the tooth. There are probably 2 or 3 elements that could have been cut out as far as pacing goes, but I never got bored. You know me, I always measure film at how many times I look at my watch. I think a halfway point is in a film should occur, I look at my watch. That's the one time I look at my watch. This film, I only looked at my watch, I think twice. So I looked at it about what I thought would be the halfway point. And then right before we get into the real action heavy bit, or the second really action heavy bit, I did check my watch again because I was like, something's wrong here. But other than those minor pacing issues, which usually Guy Ritchie's films don't struggle from,
Mm.
I really did enjoy it. The cinematography is perfect. They picked great landscapes to shoot. The
What about Henry Cavill's
Cavill
performance? Because he looked like he was
Cavill's
having good
good.
fun with this.
Cavill's genius. Cavill was brilliant. Cavill was, in fact, all of the actors, even that Alan Douchcanoe dude, Richmond, they all ate up the
MAGA hater.
screen. They all ate up the screen. Even Alan Richardson's English accent was okay, and except that it wasn't really English because I think he was trying to play like what's Andre Norse. He was trying to be from Norway or something.
Right.
Yeah, so it
Okay.
was kind of like this really weird, not quite English thing. But anyway, it was brilliantly done. Everybody delivered, including the bad guy, the bad German guy. You always have to have the token bad German guy. And what's funny is, and if this happened the way it did during the mission, then that's extraordinary. But the person that got the kill shot on the bad German guy was Isa Gonzalez's character. So,
okay.
yeah, and if that's the way it went down, because again, she's a trained spy. It was bloody brilliant.
Culture, mate. Spoiler warning,
Oh, sorry then. No. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was really good. I think you could have had a lot of fun. That's not the culmination of the film, folks. That's just one of the elements.
It's still mate. You're running cover now. That was a big spoiler. All right.
Okay, I suck. Okay, I'm sorry. Darn it. I just wanted everybody to know that you should go see the movie. This is not one to run away.
I don't need to now.
Shit. So for the 900
sorry,
of you that are here,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I didn't ask you to spoil it. All right, nice.
Yeah.
You blame.
Oh, that's right. Davinia says, "I think we know how WW2 ended." Yes. So that's fair.
Yeah, whatever.
Not that much of it.
All right, cool. So, would you recommend it though? Because it's not had a great box office. So, would you recommend it? Yes or no?
Look, I think it's a mix of several things. We've seen a decrease in A&P, the marketing that's put behind films these days, especially films like this, which are lower level budgets, right? So you spend $100 million on a film, $100 million in promotion isn't really all that much. It's not what it used to be. So if they use the old rule of thumb, not the new rule of thumb, but the old rule of thumb, and they just spent what they spent in promotions, what they spent on the film, then it could have been better served by being promoted. It also could have been better served by being released simultaneously in multiple markets rather than just initially the United States and a couple other countries. I think that not releasing in the UK at the same time was dumb. In fact, you guys should have got it first. There are some films I will always argue should open in Europe first, but that's an entirely other conversation.
Some do, in fairness, but yeah, okay. Yeah. So you would recommend it? That's good to hear. Yeah. Excellent. Cool. Yeah. Well, I like Guy Ritchie. I will check it out when I can, and we'll be reviewing.
Chat's mad at me. I'm getting chastised.
Well, they're rightfully annoyed if you to be fair.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to do spoilers for Abigail. So there you are.
Well, we need to bring on our